Hi, this is Jacob with MarketingPlayBook.co, and in this video we're going to be covering how to create ads in Adwords Editor. Now in our previous video, we covered best practices for what you need to do when you create an ad and how ads work, as well as other tips on creating ads in AdWords. If you haven't watched that previous video, I highly recommend you go back and you watch that video first before you continue, unless you're just looking for how to create an actual text ad within the AdWords editor for AdWords search. So first up here, we're going to go ahead and highlight our campaign that we're in, and it's going to be Dental Denver, which is the campaign theme we've been using throughout these training videos. And we're going to go ahead and scroll down and select ads, which will be down here when we can find it. And you might see quite a bit of other types of targeting in here. You feel free and play around with them, but for now we're just going to look at the text ads, because with AdWords search you only get to use text ads anyways, and that's the whole purpose of this training guide, is just to focus on AdWords search. So we're going to go ahead and we're on the campaign right now. So if we go over and let's go ahead and go to the first ad, the first keyword in our list, which is Best Cosmetic Dentist. And if we click on that, you're going to see that there isn't an actual ad created here yet. So we're going to go ahead and start creating some ads. And we're going to do so following the best practices laid out in the previous video. And we're going to get started by hitting the add text ad, I should say. And I'm going to go ahead and quickly fill this out. Alright, so we wrote that ad copy here, and this is for Best Cosmetic Dentist. Right here for the headline we have Cosmetic Dentist. You cannot use the word best in AdWords. It's against terms of services. Your ad will get denied, and you'll be asked to redo it. So knowing that, I went ahead and just didn't have that keyword in there. However, the main keyword is going to be Cosmetic Dentist. And for description 1, we're doing family and cosmetic dentist. Again, we have that keyword in there, cosmetic dentist, because we're trying to make Google, the machine, happy, and at the same time the user happy. For description 1, we have a period at the end on description 1. If you recall from our previous video where we talked about best practices, for that first line, if you put a period there, is what it's going to do is it's going to actually move this line right here. When you show in the top 2 results in Google, it's going to remove this first line and put it right over here. So that just gives your ad a bigger headline, basically. So it's going to stand out more. So it's highly recommended that you put a period or exclamation point when appropriate at the end of the first line in the description. So right here for the description 2, it's a little bit weak. We practice painless dentistry. I put the painless dentistry in there. Now, generally, I would recommend more of a call to action in there, because that can clearly work better for you when it comes to an individual taking action. And then for URL options, we're going to go under URL, and you're going to see that I actually just put in a website here and a website name. And keep in mind, this is a test campaign, so what's in here isn't necessarily going to be valid. But I do have a working URL in here as the final URL. Now, it's great to put it in the final URL just because AdWords has upgraded itself. So even though AdWords Editor itself doesn't quite show the upgrade here, the destination URL is now kind of the final URL. They just haven't really updated the interface. I imagine it's going to change pretty soon. So just giving you a heads up on that. If you could still try to put in the destination URL, just don't get surprised if the ads end up getting turned off because they request that you have a final URL. Now, as stated in the previous guide, we actually want to do 2 ads per ad group, and that way we can actually split test which ad copy works better, which ad copy gets the best results. So what we're going to do is I went ahead and I copied that campaign, and I did that simply by right-clicking and hitting copy, and now I'm just going to go ahead and right click in there and hit paste. So it's going to paste in that same ad in there, and now I can rework this a little bit to see if I can't beat the ad copy that I currently have. So here's our second ad copy in here, Denver Cosmetic Dentist. We have the capitalization for each first letter in there, which will help it stand out a little bit more. We also put more of a call to action here in the description line too. So all ages, call and set up an appointment. So the purpose behind that is, we gave some thought into, well, if they're doing cosmetic dentist, is it all ages at the individual practices? So in case there's children, which our practice quote unquote does. So call and set up an appointment. This is important because it's a call of action. You can't say something like click here. You can't quite say that, but you can say call. So that can be pretty important, especially when we add on extensions later on. So an extension would be such as our phone extension in there. So it's a great way of enticing the user to click the ad. You're going to notice here that we do have the period in there for the best practices. That way, if we show up in the number 1 and number 2 spot, again, this first line is going to pop in over here, which is just going to make our ad stand out more. Now these ads right here are going to be highly relevant to cosmetic dentist. So all I'm going to do, and so I'm going to go in here, I'm going to go ahead and copy this. I'm going to go in this ad group, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to paste it in there. And really there's no changes that need to be made because it's basically the same word that we're kind of optimizing for. However, this just had the word best in there. So the keyword best cosmetic dentist is in the best cosmetic dentist ad group. For just cosmetic dentist, it's just that cosmetic dentist in there. So we have cosmetic dental. I'm going to go ahead and pop in there. I'll paste it in there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I have cosmetic dental Denver in the ad copy. So we're going to go ahead, and I kind of have it there, but I'm going to change it around a little bit. So it's cosmetic dentist. I just switched around that keyword title in there for us. So now we're going to be good there. And moving on to the next one, cosmetic dentistry. Paste the ads in there. So again, I'm going to say Denver cosmetic dentistry. So change this around. You see, it's not too hard to do each one separately. Yes, it takes longer, but you're just simply going in and just for everything in the cosmetic dentist niche, I can use a very, very similar ad. That is it for this video. As you can see, it's not too hard to create individual ads for ad groups, even if you have multiple ad groups. That copy and paste really does help, and you can just make minor tweaks to the headlines and the like, which is a lot faster than doing it inside of AdWords itself, because you don't have to move within your browser. You can just do it all on your desktop. When you're done and ready to go, there's the post button right up here on top. You just go ahead and click the post button and post it up to your account, and you will be good to go.